धंधा कैसे करोगे पहले वो डिसाइड कर लो, राइट? प्रोडक्ट वगैरह तो यू कैन डेफिनेटली मेक. माई ICP, माई कोर कस्टमर इज अ फाउंडर. अगर नीड है तो आर दे विलिंग टू पे फॉर दिस नीड? ये प्रॉब्लम उनके लिए कितनी बड़ी है कि हाँ भाई प्रॉब्लम है, अब इसको कैसे राइटली पोजिशन करके कैसे सॉल्व करना है. हम बेसिकली फाउंडर्स को समय बेचते हैं. तो हमने काफ़ी आइटरेशंस किए हैं अपने प्रोडक्ट में. आई हैव बिल्ट दिस एंटायर प्रोडक्ट एट जीरो इन्फ्रा कॉस्ट बेसिकली.
I have a question on predict growth. What are the different tools you have, and what are the stages you provide these tools to early startups and founders?
For any tool that you need, mix panel, this, that, whatever you need, हर चीज़ क्रेडिट अवेलेबल है हमारे पास. It should be the last step actually.
Okay.
आप इतना पैसा, इतनी रिसोर्सेज खर्च करोगे एक प्रोडक्ट बनाने में, बट उससे पहले आपको ये तो पता होना चाहिए कि आपका प्रॉब्लम के लिए लोग पैसा देने को रेडी है कि नहीं.
Hello friends, welcome to Startup Manch. My name is Bhavik Gupta and I'm the founder of Startup Manch. And if you are early startup founders and you have started your entrepreneurship journey, so this podcast is for you. Please listen to this podcast to know about how to build MVP, what is the concept testing, how the product design works, as well as what is the market is there, how you will pivot your startup into the market. So we have discussed everything in this podcast, and please listen to this podcast and do subscribe. And today we have an inspiring guest, Jagriti Shreya. She is the founder of Predict Growth, and Predict Growth is a SaaS software platform which helps for early startups and founders through their various tools. This is a startup enabler platform which empowers many startups and accelerate their startup journey. So welcome to Startup Manch, Jagriti.
Thank you, Bhavik.
Can you tell us about your entrepreneur's journey of Predict Growth, and what inspired you to start the Predict Growth as a startup enabler platform?
First of all, thank you, Bhavik, for having me on your show. So, Predict Growth had been in the making for a couple of years, I would say. I have been working in the startup ecosystem for the last, I would say, almost a decade. So I have been part of the 0 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 100 journey through the different places that I have worked with in the startup ecosystem. So there's one consistent problem that I saw in terms of gaps of documentation and basically, the hassle of fundraising, not from the investor point of view, but from the founder's point of view. There's so much that you have to do in terms of building documentation, collaterals, and all of that. So through that, Predict Growth happened. So it was during my maternity break when I started actually, learning more about the space, kind of researching more about the idea and so on and so forth. And it so happened that almost 1.5 years ago, I moved my base back to Bangalore. So I was based out of Singapore for the last 10 years or so. So I was working there with startups in the startup ecosystem there. So I moved my base here to go full throttle in and work on Predict Growth. So that's how it happened. It is something that I always wanted to do. I knew that I have to build this, and no better time than now. So that's how this happened for me. कि काम करेगा कि नहीं?
Okay. So recently you have collaborated with IIM Bangalore also. Could you please tell us about your collaboration with the IIM Bangalore?
So IIM Bangalore thing again happened, like I said, that I have always been surrounded by some really amazing founders and community members in the startup ecosystem. So this happened through that. The product that we have built, right, the entire platform not only caters to early stage founders, कि मतलब अगर आप early stage पे हो तो build a plan on our platform. अगर आप as you are, going ahead in a journey, you definitely need to build a deck. You definitely need to build financial models. When you are in the process of fundraising, you need to have a data room, secure data room to get the due diligence move hassle free.
Correct.
So we did realize that as we started, getting ready to go to the market, is that incubators and accelerators also have a great use case for our product. So that's how it happened. I reached out to through a fellow founder, I reached out to someone in NSRCEL, and I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to demo my product to them. So I demoed it to them mostly from the point of view because I wanted to pilot the product with them. जो हमारा पहला hook tool है, which is the business planning platform, which is specially for early stage founders. और जितने भी founders usually incubators, accelerators में आते हैं, उनको इस तरह का support चाहिए होता है, where they are able to put or document their thoughts or document their idea and evaluate their idea So that's how it happened. So abhi we are ready to go and our products are ready, and अब जो भी iteration आएगा based on क्या प्रायोरिटी है हम तभी कोई फीचर बिल्ड करेंगे. तो अभी हमारी पूरी टीम सिर्फ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पे फोकस.
सो लाइक थ्रू आउट द जर्नी और 1.5 years एज यू टोल्ड, सबसे ज़्यादा चैलेंजेस क्या था? लाइक मदरहुड, बिकॉज यू आर मदर एंड यू नो डूइंग दिस एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जर्नी विद मतलब बच्चे को
यार मदरहुड तो डेफिनेटली मतलब यू नो आई कांट बी अ हाफ टाइम मॉम, आई एम ऑलवेज अ फुल टाइम मॉम, राइट? तो ये एक इनिशियली मुझे काफ़ी फ्रस्ट्रेशन होता था इस बात से कि क्यों नहीं मैं कर सकती सेम स्पीड से, राइट? जैसे आप बैंगलोर का कल्चर देख लो, राइट? इट्स लाइक द इकोसिस्टम की most founders they have house parties or they have they have a lot of meetups, which is nothing bad. That is the life of the ecosystem, right? So there are a lot of things that I cannot just go and randomly decide to go. Let's say अगर मुझे किसी event में जाना है जहाँ मुझे पता है कि अच्छा this is the right person who is coming to the event and I want to meet this founder, I want to meet this investor, I cannot just randomly pick up my bag and go, right? So I have to really very meticulously plan my days. I have to sync my calendar with my husband ki boss you have to take care of my son so that I can go to this. So it's definitely very hard.
So now I have a question on predict growth.
Okay. Wow, happy to answer.
So जैसे एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं. जैसे स्टार्टअप जो कोई स्टार्ट कर रहा है, इट इज एन आइडिया जनरेशन फेज, ठीक है? तो वहाँ पे जैसे डिजाइन थिंकिंग हो गया, हाउ टू डिफाइन, हाउ टू एम्पैथाइज योर रिसर्च यूजर नीड, फिर आपको डिफाइन करना पड़ता है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, and then you create ideas, फिर the prototype बना के उसको you test it and then you put it in the introduction in the market. So like what are the tools you have as
हमारा tool बहुत business point of view से है, right? कि धंधा कैसे करोगे पहले वो decide कर लो, right? Product वगैरह तो you can definitely make, you should always make product based on the feedback that you get from the users.
ठीक है.
So मेरे tool से अगर कोई super early stage founder है जिसके पास सिर्फ एक idea है but उसको नहीं पता कि क्या करना है, नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या है, मेरे पास आइडिया है, मुझे लगता है ये आइडिया चलेगा, अभी नेक्स्ट क्या करना है, किसी को पूछना है या किसी इंक्यूबेटर में जाना है या कैसे सीधे डेक बना देना है, क्या करना है, तो वो बंदा जब मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आएगा, राइट, तो उसको एक पूरा स्ट्रक्चर्ड फ्रेमवर्क मिलेगा बिजनेस प्लान का. तो इट्स नॉट कि तुम बिजनेस प्लान जाके एंटर करो कि ये चीज़ें हैं, नहीं, हम वी टेक देम थ्रू अ कंप्लीट जर्नी ऑफ बैटल टेस्टेड फ्रेमवर्क्स. जैसे कि आप पहले आओ अपनी प्रॉब्लम लिखो, ठीक है? अब प्रॉब्लम जब आप लिखते हो, प्रॉब्लम के अगेंस्ट तुमने 1-2 सोल्यूशन सोच के रखे, वो सोल्यूशंस के बारे में लिखो, राइट? देन हमारे प्रोडक्ट में हमने ये फ्रेमवर्क्स डाल रखे हैं कि हर सोल्यूशन को एक सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ मेट्रिक्स होती हैं जिसके बेसिस पे यू हैव टू रेट कि ये मेट्रिक्स में कहाँ पे रैंक करता है. स्केलेबिलिटी क्या है, अगर तुम कोई प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो या कोई तुम्हारा आइडिया है, वो आइडिया को जब तुम इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो वो आइडिया स्केलेबल है कि नहीं, प्रोडक्ट अडॉप्शन क्या है, रेवेन्यू बना सकती है कि नहीं, राइट? मार्केट साइज क्या है. सो अगेंस्ट ईच दीज प्रॉब्लम्स दे विल बी एबल टू असेस थ्रू दीज मेट्रिक्स. These metrics have a weightage that the product will automatically tell them that okay, this is the most feasible solution for you, you can go ahead from here. We also have a lot of pre-engineered well trained AI prompts inside our product where you just have to tell us what your industry and product is, and then based on that हर फीचर में हम आपको बताएंगे कि अगर आप प्रॉब्लम सोच रहे हो या प्रॉब्लम्स ढूंढ रहे हो इस इंडस्ट्री में, तो ये करंट प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, इनके ये करंट सॉल्यूशंस हैं, उनके मेट्रिक्स ये हैं. तो इट गिव्स यू सो मच इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट यू विल बी एबल टू रियली डॉक्यूमेंट एंड थिंक प्रॉपर्ली. सो वी ऑल्सो नज द फाउंडर टू थिंक इनसाइड द प्रोडक्ट. जैसे आपने प्रॉब्लम और सोल्यूशन बना लिया, नेक्स्ट स्टेप आपका क्या है, यू ऑल्सो नीड टू फिगर आउट कि आपके कोर ICPs क्या हैं, राइट? आइडियल कस्टमर प्रोफाइल या पर्सोना आपका कैसा दिखता है. तो हमारे प्रोडक्ट में बहुत सारे टेम्पलेट्स प्री डिफाइंड.
तो इफ आई कंसीडर द प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल, लेट्स से प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल, सो प्री डेवलपमेंट में आपने काम कर लिया, आइडियाइजेशन से MVP बना लिया, एंड कॉन्सेप्ट टेस्टिंग कर लिया, सब कुछ कर लिया.
नहीं, MVP भी आप बनाओगे, MVP शुड बी द लास्ट. MVP शुड बी द लास्ट स्टेप एक्चुअली. ओके, आप इतना पैसा, इतनी रिसोर्सेज खर्च करोगे एक प्रोडक्ट बनाने में, बट उससे पहले आपको ये तो पता होना चाहिए कि आपका प्रॉब्लम के लिए लोग पैसा देने को रेडी है कि नहीं.
That's right. So in early phase only we start building MVP and then we'll test. Okay. So now if I talk about the two product size, like service market and the product market.
Yeah. Not everything can be productized, especially in the journey of a founder. There's a lot of need for human touch, right? Which we also realize through constantly speaking to our founders, speaking to our users, that we have been doing a couple of financial models for our founders who are almost closing their rounds, like few of them have closed it. So just giving them a tool is not enough. Like business planning tool is something that it's self-serve, right? So our entire ecosystem works both on, I would say, a product-led model as well as, I would say, an enterprise or a sales-led model, right? So the data room and the business planning tool is a complete self-serve tool. You don't need people to come and strategize with you on that. However, the pitch deck and the financial model tool that we have, which we have productized for a couple of industries, still requires a lot of managed services in it. So I have to literally sit down with the founders and strategize with them in terms of, how their GTM should be, because based on what channels of market they are going for, their financial model will also change. How they are positioning themselves, the financial model will change. What industry they are positioning themselves in, whether ed tech or HR tech. Say if it's an AI interview generating tool, right? So industry metrics change accordingly. So for product, I would say complete PLG is the virtual data room and the business planning tool. And financial model and decks is, I would say, 75% productized. But it requires some human touch in form of, I would say, consultation sessions or some form of educative strategy bit that has to go in.
Okay, so now you have been working with many founders now.
Yes.
So do you also receive the feedback from, आप receive करते होंगे feedback, like and accordingly you are also validating your and piloting your products to the different strategy.
Correct. Even before I formed a team और मैंने actual product बनाना चालू किया था, पहले 6 महीने मैंने सिर्फ founders से ही बात किया है. Actually मेरे पहले 10 customers ऐसे ही आए हैं. So user interview is like the top
one.
The single most important thing. If I'm not talking to founders, I'm building in the blind. So I have to make sure that I am building what they want. If they don't want it, I will not build it. जैसे हमने pitch deck का tool completely scrap कर दिया.
अच्छा. So जागृति, जब एक founder start करता है journey and when it's getting revenue और sales जब start हो जाते हैं and it is a growth phase, when you enter into the growth phase, तब क्या होता है ना कि you need a very good team to accelerate your products or sales. तो उस टाइम पे हमको ना बहुत अच्छा एक टीम बनानी पड़ती है. So predict growth जो है, does any offer any like features or something like that in your tools which can enhance the process or team collaboration?
Yes. So actually team collaboration is a feature that is from the most starting of our packages से ही हमने दिया हुआ है feature. तो हमारे हर फीचर में आप अपनी टीम के साथ ब्रेनस्टॉर्म और कोलैबोरेट कर सकते हो. यू कैन रन अ लॉट ऑफ रिव्यूज, यू कैन डू प्रोग्रेस ट्रैकिंग. आप अपनी टीम के साथ पूरी थ्रेड कर सकते हो ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर कमेंट सेक्शन. So we have given a lot of team collaboration features to the founders. Even an early stage founder can have access of up to 4 team members inside the product. So you can do the whole brainstorming. We also facilitate this entire communication collaboration piece in our data room, where founders can communicate with investors. Investors can talk, have the same thread of conversation with founders. They can talk against a particular file. They can talk against a particular thread of communication that is going on. They can track the progress. They can review files. They can, finalize files and send it across. So team collaboration, one of the most foundational features है हमारे product में जो सारे packages में available है. So right from the start we nurture this in the product.
So Jagriti, as you know, we also help our startup community. And we help in the product design, concept testings, MVP building, and we have a similar path. Like we are pursuing a similar path. So I have one question, like not a question, I would rather say advice. What would you advise to my audience, who is like early founders or whoever their audience is there, like based on your experience of at Predict Growth, what you advise to those founders about entrepreneurship or startups and about your Predict Growth?
So my number one advice would be that talk to your users even before you get your hands dirty and start building a product or spend money in buying a domain. The first thing you should do is you should figure out who your core customer is, core persona is, and start interviewing them and ask them questions, right? Don't lead them on, but ask them the right questions and figure out if the problem that you're solving is worth solving or not.
Right.
That is number one. And then document, really, like just take a piece of paper and get into the habit of how well can you summarize or put together what you're doing in the most concise way possible.
So Jagriti, we had a very good discussion and thank you for answering my questions. Now we'll begin with rapid fire question. So the first question is, one word to describe your entrepreneurship journey.
Wow, keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Great. Favorite tool or app for productivity?
Definitely, Product Growth Business Manager.
Okay. What are the key metrics for success in entrepreneurship?
Resilience, I would say, from the qualitative part of view, and please always focus on
Passionate.
Passion. Yes, passion. Resilience, I would say in my case.
Okay.
You have to be resilient.
For me, it's passion. Founder conviction or data-driven analysis? Yep. You have to answer this.
Data-driven. Conviction will come with discipline. You have to be data-driven.
Okay.
You cannot be have conviction in the wrong direction.
A book every founder should read?
Don't believe everything you think. It is not a Gyan Vardhak book, but it is a good book because entrepreneurship can get very lonely. You can get lots of bad thoughts. So it's good to stay on top of your mind.
Okay. If you were not building a predict growth, what would be you doing?
I would be thinking about building Predict Growth.
Biggest lesson learned from a failure?
From a failure is that keep moving. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Just keep moving.
Pitching or product development? Which do you
Pitching.
enjoy?
I'm done with product development. I just believe in pitching now.
What would you advise to your 20-year-old Jagriti?
I would advise to not take the usual path of get out of college, get into a boring job and keep doing. If I had the exposure and the current resources that the current generation has, I probably would have seeked entrepreneurship much ahead in life.
Okay. Yeah. So it was a really great discussion, Jagriti.
Thank you.
We had
Bhavik.
so many questions and answers. I'm looking forward for the next interview. Next podcast with you.
Okay, I'll come again.
Yeah.